in the latest chapter of One Piece, and we are back to God Valley again, where it is a complete battlefield everywhere. On one side we've got Garp, on the other side we've got Rocks with all of his pirates, and on the other side we've got Goldie Roger and all of his pirates, and everybody's basically just fighting over who's gonna be winning at the end. And in this battlefield, all I'm gonna say is Garp was totally on the side of the celestial dragons, even though he doesn't like them. He's basically a little bit addicted to fighting strong opponents in a way, to the point where he forgets in a way what he's doing, to the point where he's defending the celestial dragons and their murder games in a way. And so this is the review of chapter 1161, called A Love Ballad in a Hail of Arrows. What does it mean? It means that there's gonna be shit ton of people fighting everywhere, and basically it's a shit show everywhere. And from the first page we can already see that we are back on God Valley, just like I said, and everybody is on their side. Goldie Roger is like, yeah, I'm still here to save Shaki. Rocks is pretty much there to actually save his wife and Blackbeard, his son, Teach. And from here we also get the name of Teach's mother, the potential wife of Rock the Chebek, and her name is Eris basically. So I'm thinking that her name might be like Marshall the Eris or something like that, because Teach, he had the name Marshall D. Teach, so I'm guessing that his mom, he took the name of his mom, so Marshall D. Eris at this point. So, and from the same perspective, in the same page, we can see that Dragon is still running away from one of the God's Knights, you know, the one that looks like she's got shark teeth, for example, and she's so big and she's a woman and all of that. And she is basically chasing Monkey D. Dragon because he's got the two kids. And as he's getting chased, the God's Knight basically is there to rescue the kids, or just the kid, because she doesn't know what to rescue yet. As we go further, we can see that she is the God's Knight's called Saint Maffei. Saint Maffei, you guys let me know on the pronunciation of this God's Knight. And we also see that she is from a new family, so we got a new family unlocked of the 20 celestial dragon families and all of that on Marijua, and this one is called the Satchel's family. So this is a new one from the same perspective. So she is chasing Monkey D. Dragon and she shoots him basically from her mouth. She makes a laser basically from her mouth. That tells me maybe she had the pika fruit, you know, the light fruit that one of the admirals actually have right now nowadays. So that tells me maybe she actually died and her devil fruit power got recreated somewhere else in the world, and that's how the admiral got to that devil fruit power at the same time. Or she might have been something like a cyborg or something like that already, and that's why she could already like get lasers from her, basically from her mouth, just like Frankie in a way. And you see that she, after shooting Monkey D. Dragon, she actually saved one of the kid and not the two. So basically, as Monkey D. Dragon was running, he was holding the two, but she only could see one. She couldn't see the two. So by shooting him, he falls and one of the baby went away, but he still had one that he was hiding. And as he was still hiding that little kid, boom, you jump to the next page and you actually see Saint Maffei actually getting slashed in half, literally right here, and we don't know what the hell happened. But as soon as you jump to the next page, you discover that, oh, you actually see Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Shiki, and they're all coming around, and you basically understand that it's actually Whitebeard that pretty much slashed everybody around and everything. And by that, he literally slashed Saint Maffei as well without him even knowing. And in the same perspective, again, you can see that Whitebeard in a way does not care too much about his colleagues of the Rocks or whatever, because he would just slash everything and everybody around him. And even Big Mom is saying, oh, you didn't fucking see me or some shit. And in all of this, Dragon is literally right there watching them like, oh my god, these people look like monsters. But these monsters, they are capable of doing a lot, because in the next page, they are literally, you can see the page of Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Shiki basically all of them fighting all of the pirates that are close to them. And all of the pirates that are close to them think they have a chance of actually fighting the Rocks pirates or whatever. But the Rocks pirates were here that day to remind them that there's no way they can win against literally monsters like these. And also, that's why I'm calling these pirates like the four emperors before even the four emperors. Because I believe before having Shanks as an emperor with Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard, you of course maybe back then had Shiki as one of the four emperors, and maybe that Shanks has to defeat Shiki in some sort of way so that he becomes the new emperor of the seas or something like that. And at the same time, you can see that baby Shanks is literally on the ground. He does not look very responsive because, you know, after everything that happened and from the perspective of what happened and everything. So basically, Saint Maffy is going to get Shamrock back to his daddy, Saint Garling, but she didn't know that the kid had a twin, Shanks. So literally Shanks got left out in a way because she didn't see him too. And that's when Monkey D. Dragon was like, you know what? I am literally gonna save you. I am sorry to your brother, but at least I can save you from all of this murder scene, whatever is going on in this situation. But then, as soon as he turns around, he can see, Dad, what? Monkey D. Garp showing up right behind the Rocks pirates, meaning Whitebeard and all of that. And what do you see? You see that actually Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Shiki are not afraid, but they don't want to fight Garp because they're like, oh, the fight is gonna take so long to finish and everything. So all of them understand that Garp is not somebody to be fucked with easily, and he is very, very strong to the point where even emperors before the emperors literally were so scared of him in a way. Like if, for example, Big Mom would fight Garp, I would believe Garp would win. And if, for example, you would have Kaido versus Garp, I would believe Garp would win as well. Like he was basically the emperor hunter before time in a way. Even when Big Mom tries to hit him with her heavenly fire or whatever, which in here she calls the heavenly Fury Blitz, and she hits Garp with that attack, basically Garp is just like, I'm ready for more. And you can see that devilish look on Garp's face with his face all dark and everything, and you can see that he is pissed and he's ready to start attacking and everything. And Big Mom is like, oh fuck. I am telling you, they are all scared of Garp and what he could do back in the day. But then after that, we come back to Saint Matthew, who's talking on the phone with somebody that was supposed to be guarding the babies, but at the end the babies got kidnapped by Monkey D. Dragon in a way. And she's like, yeah, I actually picked up the kids, so everything is fine now. And at the same time, just like I told you, Monkey D. Dragon is here saying, I'm sorry, I may not be able to help your brother, but I swear to at least save you. So literally the true savior of Shanks back in the day when he was still a baby was truly Monkey D. Dragon. And now, as the situation is getting even darker and darker, we have a map. And in that map, so we basically see that the Roger Pirates are coming this way. We see that the Rocks Pirates are coming that way. And we see that the Celestial Dragons are basically in the middle of it. And they can escape by just using a little passage or something like that they can use. And if they don't use basically that passage, they are done for. Literally, it's gonna be a huge brawl on everybody. And at the same time, Garp is also there. So literally the three of them fighting. I totally see why God Valley basically disappears. Just with the amount of power that you had on God Valley, you know? And many, many more people of the Rocks Pirates are still fighting and are still trying to go get Shaki and all of that. And at the same time, you get a picture of the Rocks Pirates. And you also get a picture on the side of Captain John. And Captain John, you can basically see his arm, and his arm looks mechanical. And that reminds me and everybody else in the community of one devil fruit power, and that devil fruit power is the devil fruit power that Kid has right now, the mecha fruit or whatever it is that can control all the metal stuff and all of that. So I'm probably thinking that the previous holder of this devil fruit power was probably Captain John, because you know he died after that, so he lost his devil fruit power. But the most despicable moment of this chapter is with Saint Summers, because you can see how dark and crazy Saint Summers is, because you can see that he is actually guarding Shaki, and instead of going to Shaki and like, you know, instead of just protecting the prize or whatever, he actually goes to her and he's like, how distasteful. There is nothing less cute than a woman who knows her worth. That's pretty shady coming out of Summers. But from that, literally Shaki turns around and she kicks him right in the face. But as she kicks him and he's like, ah! He also takes her leg. And now he has a kanabo or something like that, full of spines, and he's basically just clack bashing her, which is absolutely insane for Saint Summers to be doing this. And he's going all the way to think that now he wants to actually ruin everything, and he wants to kill her already, because that will actually involve a little bit more problems even for Saint Garling, and that's the route he will take, because I am sorry to tell you, but Summers is a true devil. And from all the fights that are going on outside, and now even in this fight, you can see that Whitebeard is fighting Goldie Roger, and they are literally clashing and everything is going crazy. Shaki is still going like, Shaki, are you okay? I'm going to save you now and everything. And everybody is still going crazy over, you know, making it on time so that Shaki doesn't die or something. And from that perspective, literally in one of the latest moments right before Shaki is literally under the kanabo of Saint Summers, as he's gonna literally hit her and hit her and hit her, boom, you get one of the biggest appearance, the most influential and charismatic appearance of a character in 2025, and I'm talking about Silver's D. Rayleigh. Yes, I know it's not his name, but I'm gonna call him a D. He deserves it too. But basically, this is probably the event where we see the Dark King in action, and that's where he probably got the name of the Dark King as well, because he showed up right behind Saint Summers, and all Saint Summers can do is literally just feel the haki and the pressure that's coming out of the air and all of that. And through that, literally the Dark King, aka Silver's D. Rayleigh, he attacks with an attack called Transcend Higan Crescent. And from there, he literally slashes Saint Summers. And as he turns around, boom, puts his swords back, and he goes to Shaka and he tells her, I am here for you now. I'm sorry for the wait. And as basically you can see that Shaki's face is literally crying, tearing up and everything, and they get the reunion in between Silver's Rayleigh and Shaki. The rest of them, basically Goldie Roger and Scooper Gaban, they are like, okay, you guys, save it for later. Now, we've got Shaki back, and it's time to get us some treasures and get the hell out of here. Very understandable. Pirates came here for a reason. They came here to save Shaki, defeat some people, and get the treasure. So let's go. And so from the perspective of this whole chapter, we got the fact that Garp is basically helping the Celestial Dragon without even trying to help them, you know, in a way, but he still does. We've got the perspective of literally it's going to become a whole brawl to get out of God Valley, because after all the destruction and everything that they've did, we still have to see, for example, the end and the death of Roxy Chebek, because there's going to be a lot of things to be saying about his death, basically. And I'm hoping that in the next chapters we actually get what truly happened by the end of God Valley. This chapter already gave us a little bit of information here and there about how events went in a way, and for example how Shanks got saved. But we are still not at the end of this backstory, and hopefully you guys, I will see you next week for the next review of next week, and hopefully we get more answers out of all of this story. So on that note, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and your boy is gonna see you on the next one. Peace.